Oh, ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for this one because Indiana is producing yet another disgusting, nasty story. You guys will see the pictures popping up here in just a moment. But I got to tell you, this is probably one of the most gripping things I've heard in a long time. What happened to this baby, and the baby actually survived, which is a blessing in itself. So it's kind of a bittersweet story. But I want to warn you, the content that you're going to hear, the details might bother you just a bit. But we're all grown here. I think most people can handle this content. But let me give you a disclaimer before we get too deep into the details. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And I need to give you guys, I think, another disclaimer because the details really are this bad. Because I know some people told me when they heard this story, they cried about it. I was like, wow, like, it's really wild. But for YouTube's sake, because we want to be fair to our audience, the following video contains material that may be harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. We're really talking about the details. You're not going to see pictures or a video or anything like that's going to be traumatizing, but the details are really more traumatizing than anything, okay? And yes, Jimmy D is right. Jimmy D said, why do I hear banjo music playing? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. This is about as, whew, I don't know if I can say that. Hashtag snowbillies, hashtag hoodbillies, hashtag when you date hoodbillies, you date death. What was my other one I had? When you date hillbillies, you date death. Stupid is as stupid does, Lieutenant Dan. So getting this story from lawandcrime.com. Thank you so much. A man and two women in Indiana were arrested after a 6-month-old baby that was in their care nearly died from being eaten by rats alive. I know y'all look at this house and I know y'all might find it hard to believe that they might have an infestation problem or a rat problem or a bug problem. A 6-month-old innocent baby that can't speak for itself nor defend itself against the tyranny of its nasty ass parents nearly died from being eaten alive by rats. So that would really make you have to think about just a plethora of things. Number one, do you not know that you have a rat problem? Number two, do you not know that you have a kid that needs to be checked on? Number three, if you're checking on the kid, how do you not see bite marks? Number four, how do you not hear this kid screaming and hollering? Number five, just my mind is blown. You can't be this level of dumb. This baby was suffering from dozens of rat bites, many of which went all the way down to the bone of this 6-month-old baby. Y'all hear me? The boy's parents, David Anthony Schottenbaum, and Angel, the mom, as well as his aunt, Delana Thurman, were taken into custody last week and charged with a spate of felonies in connection with what happened to the child, according to court records. David, the father, was charged with 1 count of neglect of a dependent resulting in serious bodily injury and 2 counts of neglect of a dependent, placing dependent in an endangering situation. His wife was charged with 2 counts of the former and 4 counts of the latter, while Thurman, his sister, is facing 2 counts of neglect and placing dependent in an endangering situation. All 3 adults lived at the house with the victim. Let me say that again. 3 grown-ass people living together. So this is his, what? His sister? Yeah, his sister. With it doesn't give her age. I'm kind of curious how old his sister is, because I'm assuming his sister is old enough that she could be living on her own. And why is she not? And then they live in this crummy ass place. Let me show y'all these pictures. I'm not just saying bad things about their home because they might be poor. I'm just saying they live in poor conditions, because you can't live like this and not choose this. You can be broke and not be nasty. Hope everybody understands the difference. Look at this. This is filthy. This is disgusting. This is unkept. That is just nasty. Let me show you guys a couple more pictures. I could smell the stank coming off the screen. That's the same picture. Let me swap to this one. This is a different angle. You guys can see some crunched up cars over there on the right-hand side. Baby chairs, a grill who God knows what the hell is in there. Yard looked like it hadn't been cut in the past 40 years. And I think that one's the same picture, and this one's the same picture. Yeah, okay. But let's get more into this story. Officers with the Evansville Police Department on September 13th, which was not that long ago, about a week ago, responded to a call about a baby requiring requiring emergency medical attention, got those words confused, at a residence located in the 1600 block of South Linwood Avenue. The caller, later identified David, the father, told the dispatcher that he awoke to find his infant son covered in blood, and said the boy's fingers appeared to have been chewed off. And yes, I agree, these clowns need to be buried under the jail, man. Just chewed to the bone. Like, do you know how long that had to have been going on? Said, I bet the roaches even left. I agree with you. Absolutely. Wow. Chewed off this child's fingers. Come on, man. Upon arriving at the scene, the first responders provided emergency medical attention, stabilized the baby, and transported him to a local hospital. Soon after arriving, the boy was transported by way of helicopter to another hospital in Indianapolis for more specialized treatment. In hospital records provided to police, doctors described the baby as suffering a near-fatal event and required a blood transfusion after almost going into shock. That's how long this has been going on. Doctors said the baby suffered more than 50 bites to his forehead. Now, people might be wondering why we don't show the pictures of the child. First of all, the child survived. We don't want to put the child's name or face out there. And also, could you imagine how gruesome that probably looks? We're not posting that. How on God's green earth do you not ever see 50 forehead bites? Let me give you guys a personal theory of mine. I think that they knew that this was going on, and I think that they were hoping that this child would have died, and they happened to get caught. That's what I think. When you're no longer getting the babies for benefits, and the child is no longer paying for the things that you might want to get for your house and your free housing, Section 8 food stamps, and all that type of stuff, then yes, I believe that they were trying to cause the death of this child, because this doesn't sound accidental. This doesn't sound like something that could just happen overnight. 50 bites to his forehead, cheek and nose alone. But there's more. The boy was missing flesh from all 4 fingers and thumb on his right hand, exposing bone on all 5 fingertips. Most severe were the index and pinky fingers, which police said were missing the flesh halfway down each finger. The child also suffered additional bites to his arms, legs, feet, and toes. His internal body temperature was about 93.5 degrees, and his blood pressure was 50/30, when he arrived at the hospital. That's pretty much a death sentence at that point. So they barely got him in time. From what the doctors and nurses told detectives, they were he was very near to death. EPD Sergeant Anna Gray told Evansville, Indiana ABC affiliate WEHT when asked how serious the boy's condition was. The child had lost so much blood that the child actually had to have blood transfusions as well. Several of this baby's fingers had to be amputated, obviously. She added, and I'm having difficulty reading this because it's really bothering me. She added, the only reason that we even knew about it was because the dad woke up and the baby was covered in blood. Back at home, police said that the baby's bassinet was about 3 feet away from the bed where his parents slept, in a room that was covered with clutter, half-eaten food, and rat feces. The detective said he observed a large amount of blood inside the bassinet, along with a bobby pillow and a blanket that were both covered in blood. The diaper disposal container also had blood smeared all over it and what appeared to be rodent footprints left in the blood. Jesus Christ. When they asked about how they could possibly allow such horrors to be inflicted on a baby, the adults said they didn't hear the child cry, which we know that's a effing lie. That's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. Y'all tell me what human being is not going to cry being eaten alive? An adult would. This case, where the rats had been living in the home, Gray told WEHT, the home was overwhelmed with rodents. They said they were trying to get rid of the rats, but I think they were like trapping about for a day at least. I mean, that's a lot of rats. The victims' parents are currently being held in the Vanderburgh County Jail on a $10,000 bond. Why they get a bond at all is just beyond me. While Thurman is being held on a $2,500 bond, and they are scheduled to appear in court at 1 p.m. on Friday. And again, this story came out on September 22nd. How did they get such a low bond? And to me, I think this is like, I don't know, like what can you call this? Like, that bond just seems too low. I don't see how they even get a bond. But let me give you guys the fair usage. Let me take a look at the news videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. It's absolutely insane. You guys do me a favor, and if you're watching, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up. It'll help share this video so more people can see what's really going on with our kids out here. Here we go.
3 people are in custody in Evansville this morning for the neglect of a 6-month-old baby. The baby is now receiving care here at Riley Hospital for Children, and we do want to warn you that some of these details may be hard to hear. Evansville police tell us the girl had more than 50 rat bites across her body, and police found the home in horrible condition. A report described feces on the floor, many rats in the home, and trash scattered everywhere. The family only called medics when they woke up to find the baby covered in blood. Neighbors say they're shocked and never knew the horrors inside.
People can put up a front, or maybe you just don't know them well enough, or behind closed doors there's things going on.
How does a child get bit over 50 times and nobody knows that the child is bit?
The family was already under investigation by the Department of Child Services. DCS lists the home last checked as September 9th.
September the 9th. This house don't get that filthy. This house ain't even filthy. It's filthy. This house does not get this freaking nasty and that overwhelmed with rodents within a couple of weeks. That is a thing that happens over months and months and months, if not years. So that means this house had been filthy for a long time. And you would also have to wonder, if they were under investigation, who the Who in the world was doing the investigating? Did you just investigate in the front yard? You didn't go inside? There is no way possible that they should have missed this if they were doing any alleged investigation. Sounds like whoever was investigating need to be fired too and prosecuted. This is ridiculous. There's no way they missed this.
On South Linwood Avenue was described by police as deplorable and uninhabitable.
Steve Mailing spoke with neighbors and police today about the case and the disturbing scenes of what was going on just next door.
Well, Randy, Brianne, if you spoke with the neighbors of those arrested, you'd think the home here on Evansville's south side was just like any other. The situation, however, was anything but. We do want to warn you, you may find some of the details in this story to be disturbing.
They're good people.
They have always been nice. They have always been cool. I've always seen her take care of that baby.
If you spoke to people living on South Linwood Avenue, they would tell you their neighbors were good people. That's because they had no reason to believe otherwise.
They take good care of their kids. I'm always seeing them loading food in the house.
But everything was not as it seemed.
People can put up a front, or maybe you just don't know them well enough, or behind closed doors there's things going on.
And there were. Police made their way out to the home on South Linwood for a medic run.
The only reason why we even knew about it was because the dad woke up and the baby was covered in blood, and that was our first involvement. We should have been involved. Someone should have picked up the phone and called us prior to that.
Inside of the home, police say, were deplorable conditions. An affidavit cited feces on the floor, rats in the home, and trash scattered about. That affidavit was for 3 people arrested in connection to the severe neglect of a 6-month-old. Parents David and Angel Schonnebaum and Delana Thurman, Angel's sister.
Did you hear how severe the injuries were to the 6-month-old?
No.
Police believe that a rat mice bit the skin off of the fingers of the child. Oh my God. The child almost actually died. Was rushed to Riley's Children in Indy.
I didn't know about the fingers. She told me that his face was disfigured.
Yeah, they believe that he was bitten a little over 50 times.
Neighbor Teresa Favors didn't know how bad it was until we spoke with her.
How does a child get bit over 50 times and nobody knows that the child is bit?
Would you have ever suspected something like that to happen here?
No.
In the affidavit, police say the family was already under investigation by the Department of Child Services. The last home visit, September 9th. That was from a home-based therapy company called Maglinger Home Services. We reached out to the DCS to attempt to understand how the situation could have gone on for months. They told us they couldn't comment on the case. EPD Sergeant Anna Gray says it's one of the worst child neglect cases she's seen in her decades on the force.
It's really hard to see that, and it's really hard sometimes to just maintain composure and be professional.
As for the accused, they face multiple charges of child neglect, a case so bad it nearly killed a baby who couldn't defend itself.
Any forms of neglect, no, none shown, none of that. I've never seen it 50 times.
Well, the other
The Evansville Police Department has confirmed the 6-month-old baby who suffered what police call a near-fatal event from rat bites has now been released from the hospital. Authorities say the child had over 50 bites to his forehead, cheek, and nose, and traumatic injuries on his arm and right hand that prompted amputation of some fingers. The infant required a blood transfusion due to the amount of blood lost. The parents of the child, David and Angel Schonnebaum, and Angel's sister, Delana Thurman, are now charged with neglect of a dependent. All 3 were in court today. The Schonnebaums had bonds set at $10,000. Thurman's bond was set at $2,500.
Those bonds are really a joke. Like, that didn't even amount to $15,000 total for 3 individuals. Like, that's crazy. And also, when you're talking to these neighbors, I'm sorry, I did also notice that. Shout out to my guy in the chat. I did notice that it seemed like the neighbors aren't necessarily, if they were a box of crayons, they might be, a navy blue or brown, because I don't think they're the brightest crayons in the box. Just throwing it out there, just throwing it out there. How did y'all not notice how filthy this place is? That type of house would have a smell that is going to emanate, and you're going to smell it if that many rats are over there like that, right? The grass hadn't been like, why don't people care about people cutting their grass like that's not a big deal? No, that's a huge deal. It kills property value, and it also shows you that people are nasty and disgusting on the outside and possibly on the inside as well. If you ask me, I think this is why this is actually featured as my second story, because to me, in my personal opinion, this is one of the worst stories I've heard that is not viral. A child was being eaten alive and has no fingers on one hand now. Chewed up to damn near to death. And this ain't viral, but we can go talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift all goddamn day, right? Maybe Taylor Swift can tweet this out and actually do somebody some good. You know, since Travis Kelce jersey sales are going up by 400%, maybe they can help the children out here by just simply sharing a couple channels, like hitting the share button, hitting the retweet, or something like that. Just throwing it out there, because I think that these babies deserve justice, and I don't think that they're getting justice. They didn't do an investigation. They're not taking these charges seriously. $10,000 and $2,500 don't even equal $15,000 in bond. Shows me that they're going to get out with a slap on the wrist. They don't deserve to ever be around children ever again in life. That house, I agree, needs to be burned down, but it needs to be contained first. They need to make sure that they build like some type of thing where rats can't get out and just like ignite that thing, like set it on fire, burn the rats, burn everything in there. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this story. Do you think it's that important? Do you think it's not a big deal? It's not in your neighborhood. Do you not give a crap? I personally care, because this child absolutely needs an advocate. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section, okay? Thank you.